Good evening, viewers and guests. To discuss this theme, movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra. Our guest tonight is Mr. Uchenna Madu, who is today the leader of the movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra, MASSOB. Mr. Uchenna Madu, you are welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's our pleasure to welcome you to speak to Nigerians on the movement for the sovereign state of the movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra. Can you please tell us what this movement is all about?
Actually, I'm not speaking to Nigerians alone. I'm also speaking to Biafrans. Well, concerning your question, MASSOB, as an abbreviation of the movement for the actualization of sovereign state of Biafra, started about 21 years ago. The child of circumstances. It's a platform, a mass movement, a non-violent movement that was established to restore Biafra, for Biafra actualization. And there are a lot of reasons, a lot of motivations that made us to start this movement. When we found out that we don't have future in Nigeria, we found out that irrespective of all our investment, all our input towards building a better and progressive Nigeria for all, we found out that as Igbo, as the people of all this region, we have no stake, we have no future. So these are more led to the formation of MASSOB, to use it as a trend, as a platform to restore Biafra, to revive Biafra back.
My first question at this point will be, can you please explain more? When you say the Igbos have no stake in Nigeria, what exactly do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is that we in the Igbos so much believe in Nigeria. Our belief in the unity and the progress of Nigeria led us to get ourselves established in every part, in every nook of Nigeria. All over the 36 states, all over the federation, we believe that we are part of it. We assist in developing Nigeria. We assist in reviving their economy. We assist in many ways, even to showcase Nigeria as a great nation all over the world. In many platforms, in many angles. So we invested much in Nigeria. But along the line, the rest of Nigerians are seeing us as enemies, as intruders, as people that are not supposed to live because of the experience of Nigerian Biafran Civil War of 1967 to 1970. They have been tutored, even the present generation of the rest of other Nigerians, they are being tutored by their fathers that Ndi Igbo are not part of us. And they are exhibiting that in their relationship with us. Even in the government of Nigeria, from the successive government of Nigeria, none of the government have carried Ndi Igbo along. So this made us to understand and to know that we have no future in Nigeria. When I say we invested, it is on record that if you go to the western region of Nigeria, precisely Lagos, if you go to the north, many parts of the northern region, Abuja, Kano, Kaduna, and the rest of them just, you will find out that Ndi Igbo truly invested heavily for the progress of this country, or geographical expression called Nigeria. But at the end of the day, we are being treated as second-class citizens. And we can't continue in this way. In the next 20, 50 years coming, they will continue to treat us as slaves. So there's no need of deceiving ourselves, thinking or believing that we are part of Nigeria. That's why we resort back to Biafra. Biafra is our identity. That's why we go back to our culture, which is Biafra.
All right. When you say that the Igbo have been sidelined in the affairs of Nigeria, to what extent is the Igbo political leaders to be blamed for this fact? Or is it just that Igbos are simply blameless for their situation in Nigeria today?
Actually, we in the struggle, as Biafra activists, we don't see the Igbo political leaders as people that are the major cause of this problem, even though they are part of it. But what we found out is that Nigeria as an entity subjected our people to series of slavery. That's this slavery called political slavery. Even our political elites or leaders in Nigeria, even the present ones holding one political office or the other by appointment or by election, we found out that all of them are under subjection from the real owners of Nigeria. Our governors, our senators, and the rest of them that are being elected, we found out all of them, they are being subjected. And because of that subjection, they are afraid to fully represent the interests of Igbo while discharging their duties, because they are under their master.
So who are their masters?
So this is the angle. The masters are the owners of Nigeria, the outside Fulanese, and the Euro, and the Duduwas. Like presently, now APC is ruling Nigeria, led by President Mohamed Buhari. We know there are Kapas. We know the missions of APC. APC as a party don't see Igbo as part of their movement. Assuming APC is a movement, they don't see Igbo as part of that movement. They see Igbo as people that later joined. So they always treating Igbo as people that later joined. Even while PDP was here, the same thing happened. Even when Igbos are major stakeholders in PDP, but inwardly, there are people that own all this party. There are people that own all this platform. There are cabals ruling Nigeria. And these cabals don't want Igbo man to shine, Igbo man to progress. So that's why I say they are their real masters. So our political leaders, to some extent, they don't have the power, they can't do anything because of the level of subjection they find themselves in the hands of these cabals.
Well, my comment at this junction will be to say APC came to power in 2015. So how is it that the APC that came into power in 2015 will now be blamed for the plight of Igbo since 1960?
Actually, APC is not fully to be blamed. Like I said earlier, APC as a wagon, as a movement, don't see Igbo as stakeholders. Even the PDP that spent about 16 years in governance of Nigeria, the same thing happened. The same thing happened. Nigeria, irrespective of the political power that's in authority, they don't see Igbo as part of them. That is this plot, that is this plan. Immediately after the war, there is this plan and plot hatched. And till today, it's still being sustained by the political class, by the real owners of Nigeria, that Igbo man should not be allowed to get closer to the presidency of this country. I think to them it's a kind of punishment to Igbo. But to us, it's not a punishment. It's a blessing in disguise. As a matter of fact, these exhibitions, these things that are being meted out against Igbo are even helping us to wisen up. You know, to wisen up, to revive our consciousness that we don't have a state in Nigeria, that we have to go back to our roots, which is Biafra.
Well, let me still get one point straight. And when Nigeria became independent in 1960, an Igbo man was at the forefront of the nationalist movement to secure independence. And then after that, the Igbos have held some senior positions. So at what point, I think it still boils down to the earlier question I said, To what extent are the Igbo to blame for the predicament you are here describing? Because at the beginning of independence, they were at the forefront of the agitation. And then also during the Second Republic, an Igbo was the vice president. In fact, Jonathan Goodluck, who ruled for 6 years, claimed to be an Igbo man. He answered the bell as a keyword, claimed to be an Igbo. So for so many years, the Igbos have come at least near the top echelons of power in Nigeria. So what have they done to, to assuage these feelings of being sidelined in the affairs of the nation?
I think I've mentioned that I said immediately after the war in 1970, this is when this plot was hatched against our people. The people that are involved in this plot against our people are Hausa Fulanis in collaboration with the Yorubas. Then people that masterminded it are the British. Our colonial masterminded this. They back it up. They back it up. The Hausa Fulanis and the Yorubas, they went into unison in collaboration against our people. So our people are not actually to be blamed for our predicament here. Our people, irrespective of their level, political leaders or whoever, we are not blaming them primarily for this situation we find ourselves in Nigeria. The thing is from outside. It's being sponsored from Britain. So, and the only solution for our people is not to continue to tie ourselves in Nigeria or struggling to clinch the presidency or trying to get ourselves fully into the mainstream of Nigeria. It may not be possible. The best thing is for us is to go back to our root. We have a root. As a matter of fact, in Nigeria as an entity, it's just a mere geographical expression. We know that Hausa Fulanis are the Arewa people. The Yorubas are the Oduduwa people. Why we are the Biafrans? Even the Middle Belters are clamoring for their own identity. Fine, we support that. So let every region of Nigeria, let every indigenous people go back to their roots. Nigeria as an entity is just a deceit, and it can no longer stand. Buhari has exposed the deceit of Nigeria.
Okay, before we go on to, I will come back to the issue whether Nigeria will succeed as an entity or not. But first of all, let me ask, what is it about the Igbos that elicits this feeling from those other Nigerians you ask about? What is it about them? What is it about the way that we made the British, or like you claim, to conspire with other Nigerians to try to subjugate them Igbo as a people?
The British, when they came in here, they came in with an experiment. They came in with an experiment. And according to history, our people resisted them much. Our people resisted them in much. And in our nature, it's not easy for them to subdue us. And it's not easy for them. We didn't go easily to them or to dialogue and be in collaboration with them. So our ancestors resisted them. And they found out that in our nature, we have something unique, which I may not talk about that here. It's something that is for us. It's for us. I think the British on their own, out of their own animosity, out of hatred, because they felt that if the Igbo be at the helm of affairs of Nigeria, that Nigeria will rise, and which is true. So I think the British did this just to subject us. They don't want a black man to rise. And I think to some extent, it is also in collaboration with the Western world, not only the British, the entire Europe, the entire Western world, they are in unison to subject the black man all over the world, the entire African race, not only the people of Biafra, not only in Igbo per se. Everywhere there is black man, they are trying means to subject them, So I think this is exactly where the problem starts. The problem is not about the Hausa or Yoruba or the Fulanis or other tribes that made up Nigeria. No, we don't know ourselves before. It was the British that yoked us together. It was the British that sold the idea to them that Igbo are wicked, that we will subject them, that that we will not allow them to write. It was the British that sold the idea, that deceived them, and they agree with it.
Okay, let's come back to MASSOB now. Your movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra. When was this movement founded? Please remind us.
MASSOB started on 13th of September 1999, about 21 years ago.
And then
MASSOB was floated.
And I understand that when MASSOB was started, the leader of MASSOB then was Chief Raf Owazurike.
Exactly, Owazurike, yes, he was the leader of MASSOB. We are just few when MASSOB was started. As a matter of fact, we can't deny the fact that Owazurike started MASSOB in Lagos on 13th of September. Other people joined. We are about 60 in number when MASSOB was started. He was our leader then. And we started doing well. As long as Biafra is concerned, there's no way one can rule out Chief Raf Owazurike. No, we can't rule him out. He did wonderfully well. But along the line, after many years, things started happening that led to his expulsion. He was, MASSOB, a lot of things. It's not something I would like to say here. It has been a past. Owazurike has continued with his another group called BIM, Biafra Independent Movement. That's the new group he's leading now. He's no longer in MASSOB. So we don't want to talk about what happened, because these days we're even building synergy among all the pro-Biafran groups. We are building synergies among ourselves, not only BIM and MASSOB, every other pro-Biafran groups that are existing today, directly or indirectly, all of them came to MASSOB under Owazurike's tutorage.
Well, I will come to the synergy you talked about, but I know that when our editorial team, we are considering to invite you, and then your name appeared as the leader of MASSOB. The one member of our editorial team was like, wow, that he was still under the impression that Raf Owazurike is still the leader of MASSOB, that he's not aware. So if you could kindly tell our viewers, those viewing now and those who will view in the future, when did you become the leader of MASSOB, please?
Okay, precise. That was on 30th of November 2015, about 5 years ago.
Are you able to tell our viewers what exactly led to the expulsion of Owazurike from MASSOB?
That's what I say. I think those things that happened then remain in the past. I don't want to open and open.
Please, if I may interject at this point, if you don't mind.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you. Hello, Mr. Madu. If I may come in at this point, I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a special request.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a special request to make of you here. Somebody like me, when MASSOB was formed, I was not in Nigeria. I came and met MASSOB. So, and I met it along the line when there was a kind of conflicts between some parties within MASSOB, which eventually led to MASSOB being which eventually led to the expulsion of Chief Raf Owazurike. So I think it will be a great service to me here, or rather it is already a great service to me hearing from you, the present leader of MASSOB, who, how do I put it, who has been in the helm of affairs of MASSOB for some time now. So I think you will be doing somebody like me and other people like me a lot of good if you will eschew whatever it is that is withholding you and come up in the open to enlighten us about what really transpired. It will not only You will not be only be doing yourself a good, you'll be doing
Yes,
a lot of
it
us
is very
good.
important that you say it here. Just, yeah,
You
what
will be
exactly
clearing
led
a lot
to the
of
expulsion of Wazirike from MASSOB?
no matter how difficult it is for you, this is an opportunity for me to learn from you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I understand your point of question, and I also understand the angle you are going. But we in the struggle, we have our modus operandi, we have our ethics. The fact is that it was on the news, even at then, it was on the news. It was on the even social media and the news then that so things led to the expulsion of Wazirike from MASSOB. As a matter of fact, okay, let me just give a little highlight that I may not go deep because we are building synergies. We are, reviving our brotherhood. That's why I said I don't want to open an old wound, so that it will not affect the synergy we are building for the interest of the struggle. The whole thing is not about personal interest, that then when Wazirike was the leader of MASSOB, MASSOB was seen as a holistic group for Biafra. We are purely apolitical. We don't engage or involve ourselves in politics. Ndibo have a very big faith on us. In fact, Nigeria was even afraid of MASSOB then because we don't engage in politics and we control our people. Even now, we still control our people. But along the line, when all of us were arrested in 2005, our then leader, Wazirike, was arrested around 2005, around October 2005. Myself was also arrested on December 6th, 7th, December 2005. Before then, Gani Adams of OPC was also arrested. Fashenu was arrested also. Dokuba Asare was also arrested. Even Uchenna, the former legal advisor of MASSOB, was also arrested. All of us, we are caged from DSS headquarters to Suleja, to Kefi prison, to Kuje prison. The rest is history, actually. Some of them spent like a year in the prison, some spent months. Wazirike spent like 2 years. While myself, I spent 3 years, 6 months, and 2 weeks. So when we came out from the prison, things started changing. And the whole team got to more open when Ojukwu died. When Ojukwu died, after his burial, the then administration of Goodluck Jonathan gave Ojukwu a befitting state burial for a general, for a leader of a nation. And after all those things, our former leader then, started romancing with government and politicians. It didn't all go well with the rest of us in MASSOB. It's not what we really want. We don't need to romance with them. The romance and the closeness with politicians led him to many things. When he started having this love for mundane things, the respect, the integrity of the struggle started derailing. So, in fact, we can't continue on that kind of terrain. We tried everything to get him back to the track that we are for Biafra, we are not for politics. As a matter of fact, a time came, he even used MASSOB to campaign for Goodluck. There was a time they said Jega must go, a kind of protest, Jega must go. Imagine MASSOB doing protest that Jega must go some weeks to election, All those involvements derailed our integrity. People started seeing us as if we are now political. We are now campaigning for Goodluck Jonathan and the rest of them. So, plus other things that I may not mention, they all led to his expulsion. When the executive of MASSOB, the national officer, we met. We tried to get him back on track. you know, there's a committee, a panel, you know, try to get him back, telling him, see, this is not a personal venture, it's for the people. Many people have died. Many have sacrificed a lot. So it's not a personal venture. It's purely a people movement. And the struggle have no respect for any individual, irrespective of his or her position. So these are the things that led to his expulsion. That time I was the director of information of MASSOB, the image maker. So there was an election, actually. There was an election. There was an election. We were about 3 that contested it. You know, eventually I was lucky. I was privileged. It wasn't my intention. It wasn't my desire in the first place to lead, to be the leader. I didn't want even to be the leader, but the vacuum must be filled. The struggle must continue. So that's how I found myself in the leadership position of piloting the affairs of MASSOB. That is how it happened. But after about a week, it was really floated another group called BIM, Biafra Independent Movement, which is what is still today. And he's doing okay. I wouldn't say it's not doing fine. A lot of people are still believing in him. They are following him. Everything is for Biafra. So many people are still in MASSOB. Like many people are in IPO, many people are in Eastern People's Congress and other groups. So that is it. So among our people, any group that you feel that you have faith in, that is where they find themselves. So we are building synergies among all these pro-Biafran groups. Because it's very important that we must come together since we are fighting for the same thing. Thank you.
Okay, I think at this point, I think, Tim, that's the reason have been because many people will still be asking this question, but now at least we now know that there was an election where you were elected as the leader of MASSOB, that it wasn't a coup, whereby some people reached out and then you simply carried out a coup and became leader of MASSOB. So that's a good explanation. My next question will be, since 1999, this agitation by MASSOB have been ongoing. How feasible do you think this Biafra project will be? How possible do you think it will be that one day Biafra will once again exist as an independent sovereign nation?
Our involvement in the MASSOB or struggle for Biafra is not a childish play. If Biafra will not be actualized, we wouldn't have been here in the first time. If Biafra will not be actualized, there's no way I can spend 3 years, 6 months, and 2 weeks behind the bar. I was in the prison. I lost my father. I lost my stepmother. They died because of Biafra. Many people have died. If Biafra will not be actualized, I don't think that people will be joining the movement or clamoring for it. I want to tell you that Biafra will be actualized. Biafra is of the mind.
How will it be actualized?
Yes, we have our stages. We have our modus operandi because we are non-violent. All the pro-Biafran groups are non-violent. No group violence for now. And we are not we have no intention of being armed. We have no intention of being armed. We are still non-violent. And we are pursuing it in a way that is quite acceptable before the international community. The entire world is aware of Biafra. As a matter of fact, even Nigeria is aware of Biafra. Our people are aware of Biafra. For the fact that we have actualized Biafra of the mind, what remains is the geographical Biafra.
Yes,
Biafra of the mind is more important to us that every Igbo man will see himself as a Biafra. Today, people can proudly say, I'm a Biafra. People can proudly move on with the Biafran identity. That is the most important thing. That is the most important thing. To us, Biafra means a lot of things.
So are you struggling for the Biafra of the mind or a geographical expression where Biafra will become an independent country, sovereign from Nigeria?
That's exactly where we are going. That's the point we are driving to. There is no way we can relent or stop without actualizing the geographical Biafra. Because we know that Nigeria will soon expire. Because we know that the deceit, the falsehood that is holding Nigeria will soon expire. and every indigenous entity in Nigeria will go their way. Even without us in the struggle, Nigeria will still collapse. It will still collapse. As a matter of fact, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is even quickening it. It's making it to come more faster. Because with the way Buhari handled Nigerian affairs, it has made the people of Middle Belt to know that they are not part of the North. Many regions, many indigenous groups in Nigeria are now clamoring for their indigenous identity. What is indigenous identity? Their own. Nobody is talking about Nigeria. Imagine since Nigeria independence, the Middle Belters are seeing themselves as the North, as part of the Commonwealth. But today, they no longer see themselves as part of the Commonwealth. That is the collapse of Nigeria. That is the collapse. The Yorubas are coming out more on Oduduwa issue. That is the collapse of Nigeria. The people of Nigeria are coming up more with identity. That is the collapse of Nigeria. Then, sooner or later, another thing that will explode is the Hausas separating themselves from the Fulanis, because the Fulanis are using the platform of Hausa Fulani to subject the rest of Nigeria. But very soon, the real Hausas are going out from the Fulanis. Then the Fulanis will now dance naked in the marketplace. And Nigeria will collapse. Nigeria will certainly collapse. The ISIS are here. The Boko Haram activities are there. The bandits in the north are there. All these things are gearing towards the explosion of this entity called Nigeria. So it's not only MASSOB or any other group standing for Biafra. It's all around the entire nation. Nigeria will certainly collapse. So what we are doing is creating a platform for our people, giving a soft landing for the Igbo. That is what we are doing.
All right. At this point, I will. This is now the time for our viewers and listeners who have joined the meeting to ask their question. And Tim, do you have any question at this point to ask?
Yes. I have a little more input here. I want to ask Mr. Madu, have you tried to harness the political advantages that MASSOB could garner to make it a reality, to make the Biafran dream a reality? What I mean is this: politics, for example, is a game of numbers. The majority carries the vote. Have MASSOB considered the possibility of using its number as well as its affiliates to pursue this cause in a political manner, which some claim might hasten the possibility if it exists?
Okay, I understand your question. Actually, we are exploring many in knowledge, because for Nigeria, along the line, that may come up, that may eventually subdue your plan, and you face the current one. That's why I say there's no methodology. And we are able to face every challenges. Like what you ask about politics, or involving ourselves in politics. Yes, we are discussing that. We're discussing that, but not on a personal term. An individual in the struggle trying to use his position in the struggle to enrich himself or to romance personally with the politicians. No. If MASSOB or the pro-Biafran groups will ever engage in Nigerian politics, we will discuss about that. It must be for the interest of our people. I know political power really matters. For example, if eventually we have a state in Igbo land, maybe one of us becomes the governor of a state in Igbo land, I know it's a very big plus to the struggle. But at the same time, we must be very, very careful because of the nature of Nigeria and the constitution that they are being used to govern Nigeria. because of what that has happened to us before, we are being very careful in involving ourselves in politics. That's why we prefer mounting our pressure on Biafra. We prefer mounting our pressures on Biafra. But for the what you just asked me, we are discussing about that. I can't give you our actual position on that. 2023 is still far actually, and a lot of people are planning seriously towards that. We pro-Biafran groups are also planning. We have a plan. We have something that we are putting on the ground towards 2023. Our people indeed were saying it's our turn to be the president of Nigeria. But we don't believe in just a mere talking. If truly our people indeed want to be the president of Nigeria, there are a lot of things that our political elite are supposed to be doing by now that will show or prove that it is their turn, really. So on the political aspect, we are discussing that inwardly. We are discussing it among ourselves. By the time we come up with a position, with a resolution, we will make it known.
All right. And one more thing, please. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has been proscribed over their quests for the actualization of a sovereign state of Biafra, also just like MASSOB. However, the fact that they have been proscribed, does that not worry you? Do you think it poses a threat to your quests or to your movement?
You see, the issue of proscription of IPOB, we see it as a political something. It's a political something. That's nothing like proscription of IPOB, because the so-called proscription doesn't stop them from any of their activities. If they are being proscribed from having their functions of the activities, I think IPOB should have, why not? But they are still there, having their meetings, doing their programs, still talking about Biafra. You see, I think there's nothing like proscription here. It's just a word that is being used to threaten them, to threaten our people, to threaten Ndibo. We don't believe in that word called proscription. Yes, I remember during Obasanjo's regime, they will say MASSOB is banned. Ban. You know, you can't ban what you don't have power on. Federal government cannot prescribe IPO. That IPO is not registered under Nigeria. It's a people's movement. Like MASSOB is a people's movement. It's like, say, you prescribe Afenefere or prescribing Arewa ACF, or even prescribing Mietiala, all those things. Indigenous groups, indigenous movement. You can't prescribe them. So we don't believe in so-called prescription.
All right, let's take next question from Otumba Olabode Osene, please. If you can unmute yourself, Otumba.
Thank you very much, Dan, for having me. My take is almost similar to that of Honorable Tim. MASSOB, IPOB, BEAM, all these splinters, these are groups. You're supposed to be united. People say united we stand, divided we fall. Can Honorable Madu say to us that is he making any efforts to unite? Because if you come together, you become a bunch of things that cannot be easily broken. As it is now, Yoruba also are having similar issue, and the people in power are taking advantage of these splinters. Yoruba, something similar is also going at Afenifere, renewed Afenifere, old, all that kind of thing. Don't you think it's better to get everybody together first as a pre-arrangement to get the job done? I mean, it's gotten to a point now that somebody like me, it took me a long time to start subscribing to. If we put so much pressure on the 4%, Dan should know me by now with my 4%. Mm-hmm. If the 4% are not want to shift, the 96% should start doing something tangible. They should start working together to see that we achieve. Because all the power the 4% has is just nothing more than the money they stole. They don't have any more power. They don't have the synergy the 96% of other part of Nigerian has. So don't you think it's better to work together to bring all these splinters, all these branches, all these splinters together, so you can have a united front and then start working? The other thing I wanted to say is an observation. Well, it's okay. I have nothing against people that are still thinking. That are still thinking. I respect them. I accommodate them. That it is the West that doesn't want us to achieve success, to achieve what we want to achieve, and I completely disagree with it. I'm a graduate of political science and law, and I know exactly by now at my age that no matter what Britain, America, Sweden, or Germany wish or want for themselves, it is nothing more than their own personal interest. So they cannot stop you and I if we are to be if we are united, if we are together. But it's just like everything is showing that a black man is just like a very weak person, weak spirit, weak at everything. We are not strong enough to know exactly how to fight our corner. And that's why you think Sweden, a small Denmark, can have a say in our future, can tell us what to do in Nigeria. Thank you.
It's very, very important all the groups, the splinter groups and other groups will come together. That's what I said earlier, that we are building synergy among all the Biafran groups. We ask for many groups waiting for Biafra. India, we have Lower Nigeria Congress, Tony Nadi group and all this. They are talking about emancipation of our people. So we are building synergy among ourselves. We can't continue to go different ways, speaking on different tools. Since it's for Biafra, we are building a very powerful platform, coalition among ourselves. And I believe when we finish this synergy, when we tight ourselves the more, we move more mountains, we move more mountains, we move more mountains. So I believe what the Tumba just said. We are building towards that. We have been extending towards our people from the Duduwas. There's a lot of Yoruba revolutionary movement, Duduwa restoration movement. We are in collaboration with them. Even the people of Middle Belt, we are discussing with them also. Because all of us are geared towards the emancipation of our indigenous people. So we are working towards the interest of our people to emancipate them. Because we can't continue on this kind of terrain called Nigeria. Yeah,
I think my question at this point will be, it appears that your strategy is to continue to put pressure on the central government until the other Arewa, Middle Belt, Yoruba groups contribute to the dissolution of Nigeria. If I understand that correctly, what if that doesn't work? Is there a plan B? Because your agitation is to establish a sovereign state of Biafra. Is it only hinged on Nigeria imploding? What if Nigeria doesn't implode? Because we have seen opportunities where it appears Nigeria is about to implode and yet it gets its act in order. We saw that after the annulment of June 12th election. Nigeria get back on its feet and continue. What if your expectation that Nigeria will implode doesn't happen? What then?
They want the restructure of Nigeria. We are in recognized, So I think that should serve as a plan B or even plan C. But for us in the struggle, we have no other business than to emancipate our people. And we don't care how many years it will take us. We must continue until we achieve it. But while a lot of things can come up, because our pressure, the pressure from us, can even lead Nigeria to succumb to restructuring or to other demands of the people that still believe in the oneness of Nigeria. It's good for them. But even at then, we will continue to press for Biafra.
Let's move forward. Is there a possibility, if all peaceful options fail, if politicians maybe succeed in whatever they're angling, and yet you do not have Biafra, is there the remotest chance that the Biafra struggle will assume an armed struggle to actualize your dream of a Biafra state?
My brother, this is a struggle. This is like a journey. We can liken our struggle to a journey. It's a journey. And we can't predict and we can't presume what will be the end of the journey. As we journey towards this road, whatever we see on the road, whatever challenge we see, we shall tackle it. For now, we don't have any intention of resorting to arm. We are still non-violent. But if peradventure we are being pushed to the wall, we must defend ourselves. As a matter of fact, when we reach the bridge, ultimately we must cross over. We must cross over. This is a journey. This is a journey. But we believe that we must arrive safe, no matter the means.
All right, viewers and listeners, we have Mr. Uchenna Madu speaking to us about the movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra. We will soon be coming to an end, so we'll be happy to take a few more questions to round up the conversation. Otumba, is your hand still raised up for the previous one?
I can imagine that what he's trying to say is all hands are on deck to bring all the different groups together, because he agrees with me that united people stand. When you now become divided, it becomes very difficult. That already, the splinters is already affecting the Afenifere movement. And like I said, it would take only 1% of the 4% to think Nigeria is working. Again, like I said, I spent my last 50 years of my life fighting and campaigning for one Nigeria, because I believe that if we put everything properly together, Nigeria is supposed to be a great country like America, and we have all what it takes in terms of education, in terms of resources, and so on and so forth. But as long as we keep taking advantage of each other and not wanting to listen, and it's very sad, the mixture, the number of the 4% are more from, they are not from the north. The people that are writing the constitution, that are writing different bills, that are writing the different declarations and so on, are people among the southern people. My people, especially Yoruba, are more people. These people we are talking about, they cannot even read and write. That is not being derogatory. I'm not trying to be rude to anybody. What I mean by that is most of what they are achieving in terms of this bill, that arrangement, moving us from one place to another, it is the Southerners, the Southeast and Southwest people that are writing it and making it possible for the North. And that's why I'm thinking we need to be united. Even when I look at the 31 states that are saying enough is enough, and the question is, are they united? If we are united, how can 31 states find it difficult to defeat 5 states? So we need to be united, and that's what I'm trying to say to the Honorable Magu, that all the splinters need to be brought together. They need to sit down together so they can form a synergy. With the synergy, nobody can stop them, because it's getting to a point that I think if the people in the North are not being reasonable, everybody can just go our own way. I have also said many times that there's a place called California in America. They're one of the strongest economy in the world, but they are still within America. Let us restructure. Let's get everybody going at their different space, and then we still make a Nigeria, and then we will still be great. Thank you.
All right, we thank you very much. There is no other question. Let's now take the final question to our host, our guest tonight. Mr. Uchenna Madu, please. We have seen the activities of all these pro-Biafra agitating groups, and we have heard what you said about the synergy that exists among them. What is the possibility? Because we have also seen that even all of them stemmed from MASSOB originally. IPOB, Nandekan, all of them were working with Rafa Wazurike originally, and then something happened and a lot of these splinter groups started to occur. What is the possibility that all these pro-Biafra groups will eventually come back again under one roof to actualize their dream?
The force behind the possibility of working together or achieving that synergy is the love for Biafra. Among all the pro-Biafran groups, irrespective of any group, for the fact that we love Biafra, for the fact that we are true to ourselves, that we are sincere for the struggle of Biafra, we must work together for Biafra. It's possible unless any individual or group that is not sincere with himself or sincere with the Biafran struggle, or somebody that has an ulterior motive, that person will not like to work with the snitch others. That's the way we see it. That's what we see. That's possibility we work together. We are building that synergy. We are building trust. We are building confidence among ourselves. We are building trust and confidence among ourselves. And by the time we come up with the synergy with the few force, our people will know truly that we mean business for Biafra.
We'll take a final question from those watching online on Facebook, and that is how does these organizations justify the killings happening among those agitating for this Biafra, for instance, that happened in MNNU some few days ago? Is it worth the trouble? Is it worth all these deaths at the hands of Nigeria's security forces?
Actually, we are not praying for deaths. We don't pray that our people, our members will die. But at the same time, we are prepared to lay our lives on Biafra, to pay the price. No freedom can be achieved on a platter of gold. Every freedom has a price to pay. There's a price tag hanging on it. The struggle for independence is not for cowards. It's for people that believe, people that love their fatherland. The people that died at MNN, actually, we don't like it. We don't pray for it. We don't want it, but it happened. It's still part of the same sacrifice we are making for Biafra since 1999, since year 2000. Since the year 2000, when the Biafran flag was hoisted at Aba, at Fox Road, Aba. Today, our people are dying. Most of us that are lucky, we just spend more that we are worthy to live because it's God. So our people that are dying, they are part of the sacrifice. We don't intend for that. It's not our intention. We don't plan for it. We don't plan for it. It's just an accident that they gave their life for Biafra.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Mr. Uchenna Madu, for being with us. We've been speaking with us now for the past 60 minutes on the struggle, the movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra. Thank you for being with us tonight, and we look forward to hosting you again.
Yes.
So thank you.
I really enjoyed the interview. Thank you so much.